Have you ever witnessed an event so surprising that it forces you to rethink everything you thought you knew? Today, we dive deep into a controversial and unforgettable moment when a liberal professor boldly mocks Melania Trump right in front of Barron Trump. Stay with us until the very end because every detail matters. And you're about to discover how one response turned what could have been a heated debate into an unforgettable lesson in humility and respect. On a bright and lively day at a public event filled with chatter, cameras, and a mix of voices from all walks of life, an unexpected scene unfolds. Amidst the crowd, a professor known for his outspoken views on politics and social issues takes the stage. His reputation as an advocate for liberal values is well known, and today he uses that platform to challenge the polished public persona of one of America's most talked about figures, Melania Trump. What makes his remarks even more impactful is that they are delivered in the very presence of Barron Trump, the young son who has spent his life under the constant glare of public attention, with Barron's wide, questioning eyes on display. The professor's words cut deep into the heart of a storm that would soon capture national attention. In the first few moments of his speech, the professor makes it clear that he believes in absolute freedom of speech and the need for those in power to be held accountable for the images they project. He points out that celebrity and political status should never place anyone above public scrutiny. With an impassioned tone, he begins to dissect what he sees as the carefully crafted image of Melania Trump. His critique is unfiltered and direct. He challenges the narrative surrounding her public appearances, questioning whether the elegance and reserved demeanor she portrays are genuine reflections of her character or simply elements of a controlled image designed to mask deeper truths. As his words echo through the venue, the atmosphere shifts from casual chatter to a tense, expectant silence. It is at this moment that the professor's focus on Melania Trump takes on a new dimension because of the innocent audience that surrounds him. For many in the crowd, his criticism was not just an attack on a public figure, 'twas a challenge to the very idea of untouchable icons. The professor's language is simple, yet cutting clear enough for everyone to understand, yet powerful in its simplicity. His aim is to spark an honest discussion about the responsibilities of those who occupy positions of influence. He argues that when public figures project an image, they also carry the weight of their actions and the opinions of those who look up to them. This bold statement has a ripple effect, causing murmurs in the crowd as people begin to question what is the true cost of maintaining such a carefully engineered persona. And more importantly, who is really behind the curtain of these public images? As his speech unfolds, the professor's words begin to hit closer to home for some members of the audience. His remarks about the dissonance between public image and personal truth resonates with those who believe that honesty should not be compromised by fame or political power. However, for others, his comments cross a line, especially given the sensitive nature of the situation with Barron Trump present. The professor's decision to voice these opinions in front of a child has ignited a fierce debate. Can strong opinions ever be justified when delivered in a setting that includes young, impressionable eyes? The tension builds, and at that very moment, what seemed like an ordinary speech transforms into a significant cultural moment that leaves everyone waiting for what comes next, in what must be one of the most unexpected turns of the event. Silence gives way to a powerful moment of reflection when Barron Trump, who until now had remained a silent onlooker, steps forward. The professor's words, as sharp as they were, suddenly seem to lose some of their edge when confronted with the quiet dignity of the young Trump child. Barron, with a calm expression and measured words, addresses the professor directly. His response is neither loud nor overly dramatic, but is delivered with a quiet power that immediately commands respect. In a voice that carries both the weight of his unique experience as a child in the spotlight and the innocence of youth, Barron challenges the approach taken by the professor. He emphasizes the importance of compassion and understanding, reminding everyone that while public figures may indeed be critiqued, there must be a respectful boundary that protects those who are vulnerable. Barron's carefully chosen words resonate deeply in the now hushed room. He explains that being part of a family constantly in the public eye comes with challenges and that criticism, when delivered without care or empathy, can leave lasting emotional scars. His message is simple yet profound. Real criticism should invite honest dialogue and encourage growth, not leave someone feeling exposed and hurt. It is a call for a balance between holding people accountable and showing kindness and appeal that cuts through the noise of partisanship and reminds everyone that empathy should always be a cornerstone of public discussion. This unexpected interjection transforms the mood of the entire gathering, and for a few long moments, the professor, the audience, and even the cameras in the background seem to pause in acknowledgement of this poignant remark. The impact of Barron's response goes far beyond what anyone could have anticipated. His words shine a light on an essential truth, that every individual, regardless of their public status, deserves to be treated with humanity and respect. At that instant, the entire dynamic of the event begins to shift. The professor, visibly taken aback by the sincerity and maturity of Barron's reply, pauses mid-sentence. In that brief silence, it appears that the professor has absorbed the young man's perspective, questioning whether his initial barrage of harsh words was as justified as he had believed. The audience, too, seems to wrestle with a mix of emotions: admiration for Barron's graciousness and a growing awareness of the potential harm caused by untempered public criticism. Following Barron's powerful statement, the professor gathers his thoughts and returns to the microphone with a noticeably altered tone. Gone is the fire and brashness of his earlier words. In its place is a measured humility. He admits that his intent was to spark a debate on the responsibilities of those who shape public images. But he now recognizes that his approach may have neglected the importance of context and compassion. In this moment of vulnerability, the professor offers a sincere apology for any unintended hurt caused by his remarks. His apology, while not erasing the impact of his initial words, opens the door for constructive dialogue, a moment where differing viewpoints begin to converge. Rather than polarize, it is this willingness to reflect and adjust that leaves the room and later viewers with a profound message about the power of honest reassessment in the face of emotional truths. The evolving conversation that follows is a mix of surprised whispers, thoughtful nods, and a palpable sense of relief that perhaps, even in the heat of controversy, there is space for forgiveness and understanding. Observers note that while the professor's earlier comments ignited a storm, Barron's timely interjection has calmed the winds, allowing for a more meaningful discussion of the issues at hand. This incident, captured live and later viewed across various media platforms, becomes a focal point for debates about free speech, accountability, and the ethical limits of criticism in today's media-savvy society. Beyond the immediate drama, this event serves as a microcosm of broader societal challenges. It spotlights the struggle between holding public figures accountable and maintaining a respectful dialogue in an era dominated by quick judgments and sound bites. The professor's initial remarks, although aimed at dissecting the polished public image of Melania and Trump, also inadvertently opened a conversation about the pressures and expectations placed on those who live under constant scrutiny. The reality is that every public figure, no matter how carefully they curate their image, faces private battles and vulnerabilities that are often hidden from the public eye. By challenging this facade, the professor inadvertently highlights the delicate balance between transparency and respect-to-balance that, if not maintained, can lead to conversations that hurt more than they help as word of the event spreads. Media outlets and social networks erupt with discussions and debates. Many commentators reflecting on the incident highlight the significance of Barron's response. They applaud his bravery for speaking in such a measured way, arguing that it is a stark reminder that compassion must not be overlooked in the pursuit of accountability. Others, however, remain critical of the professor's choice to make his remarks in a public forum with a young person in the audience, viewing it as an unnecessary provocation that has added emotional strain to an already intense situation. The divergence in opinions underscores a fundamental question in modern discourse. Can strong opinions be articulated without crossing the boundaries of respect for personal dignity? This question, echoing long after the event, continues to challenge both our political debates and our social interactions. In interviews and opt pieces following the event, experts discuss the broader implications for both educational and political discourse. They stress that while free speech is a cherished right, it carries a responsibility to consider the impact of one's words on all parties involved. In classrooms, boardrooms, and living rooms around the count,